Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Karlee, and as you can hear, I'm a young mom to a 1-year-old baby girl named Kash, who's sitting right next to me. If you hear any extra noise, the dog is in here, and also Kash just ran behind me, so if you hear anything extra, it's them. So today's video is my teen pregnancy story time / Q&A. I kind of did both. I had you guys ask me questions over on my Instagram, which is right here and in the description box below, so you can go follow me on that. And lastly, we do have a giveaway going on, but I will get all into that at the end of the video, so stay tuned for all of that. And yeah, let's get into this video. I'm gonna start off this whole thing with a little bit of background. So me and Jackson, which is Kash's dad, met when we were in junior high, but I really wasn't that fond of him, so I really didn't talk to him up until the point where we started like talking and dating. We were both 16. He was a sophomore and I was a junior in high school. We started talking because he wouldn't stop snapping me. He just wanted this, you know. So I finally caved in and started snapping him. I was just getting out of a really bad relationship. So we ended up dating up until I graduated. So after I graduated in about November of that year, we ended up breaking up, and then yeah, it was a mess. We didn't get back together until March. We tried to talk during that period and it was not working. So we didn't get back together until March of 2019. And when we got back together, I had plans to move to college about 2 hours away from where we went to high school. But then in May, I found out that I was pregnant. And I'm going to start off with the first question. This is my most asked question every time I post a Q&A sticker on my Instagram. Did you plan your pregnancy? No, I did not plan my pregnancy. I was going 2 hours away to college, which those plans were canceled, obviously, because I was pregnant. How I found out I was pregnant, I didn't really have any weird symptoms. I missed my period. Before Jackson had graduated, I had brought it up to him. I was like, hey, like I missed my period, this and this and this. And he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, but I don't think I'm pregnant. I think that my cycle's changing. I was hanging out with a lot of different people, so that was a pretty big possibility. And then I ended up taking a pregnancy test on May 20th, 2019. I took a digital and a line test, a plus test. And they were both positive, obviously. I took them at my friend's pawn shop. And then about 5 days later, I went to the health department and took a test for a confirmation of pregnancy for like state programs, and it was also positive, obviously. Another question was, what were your symptoms? So when I missed my period and started to kind of lean towards the, oh, I might be pregnant, I noticed that my boobs were a lot more full and like sore. So I had that, and then obviously my late period. But other than that, I did not have any like symptoms besides the period and the boobs thing. So the next two questions kind of go together. It's, was Jackson happy when you told him, and what was your reaction? First test I took was a digital clear blue test, and I took it at my friend's pawn shop. And we were in there, and I was like just looking around, and I was like, oh, I better check it because it was like blinking, you know. And I had it in my like waistband, and I pulled it out, and it was positive, and I just like froze, completely froze. So I looked up at my friend, and she looked at me, and I was just like, I could not move. So we went back to my car, and I just started flooding out the tears. I was like, oh my God, like I cannot believe that just happened. Jackson was pretty reassuring. The whole time I'm crying, I'm like, how, like, what am I gonna do? Blah, blah. And he was like, it's okay. Like everything's gonna work out. Everything's gonna be okay. You know, all that stuff. I couldn't even drive home because I was literally just bawling. So we ended up just going down the road to my friend's house, taking the other test. And I don't know why I expected it to be any different. It literally instantly was positive. Like it didn't even like, it just positive, like didn't even need to read it. And obviously we're very happy now, but in that moment, I don't know if we were exactly happy about what was going on. Okay, so in my first trimester, I started to get sick around weeks 9 and 10. It started with just like a gag when I would brush my teeth, and then it progressively turned into like nausea, and then I threw up for like a week, and then it was like nausea, and then a gag, and then it was gone. My morning sickness, nausea, all of that, it kind of eased itself out around 13 weeks, which is the end of your first trimester. Another question was, were you really sick? I wasn't super sick. I had like 1 or 2 days where I was just nauseated all day and I felt like crap. But other than that, no, I wouldn't say that I was super sick. Also, in my first trimester, I didn't really have a bump. I'll insert some pictures right here if you guys want to see them. And also, I didn't have any doctor's appointments. Didn't have any doctor's appointments because I didn't tell my mom, and then I had to also wait to get in. So my first doctor's appointment was when I was 15 weeks. My second trimester was pretty much a breeze. I barely had any symptoms besides like growing pains. So like I said, I had my first appointment at 15 weeks, and I also found out the gender at 20 weeks. I had a gender reveal. I'll insert a picture of it here. I started to feel baby flutters around 22 weeks and stronger kicks around 25 weeks. I had a 3D ultrasound, which was really cool. And the only negative part of my second trimester was my blood pressure issues, which at the end of my second trimester, the doctors started to notice elevated blood pressure levels when I'd come into my appointments. And then one specific time, it was like super, super high. Obviously, pregnancy and high blood pressure are not a good combination. You can have a stroke. So that was really scary. I had to be put on a medicine, and that also led to more ultrasounds because of the medicine being some kind of beta blocker, and it could have stunted her growth. So I had to constantly go in and check like her growth and her development and all of that stuff. And I'll also show you guys some more bump pics. My bump started to really show in my second trimester. I was super insecure about it, but I did take lots of pictures. I took a picture every single week. I was coming more to terms with it with myself, but in public, I was still very, very insecure about it. And then in my third trimester, I started to get a lot bigger and a lot more tired. I took some maternity pictures, which I will insert right here. I also had my baby shower at around 31 weeks. And another question was symptoms, and I had a lot in my third trimester. Hella fatigue. Swollen everywhere. I couldn't get my ring off. My shoes were like super tight on my feet. I had to wear tennis shoes that were stretchy. I was fat. I had really bad Braxton Hicks. I had to take off work like multiple times for those. Heartburn and acid reflux were the worst symptom that I had in my third trimester, I think. It was literally so bad. I had really bad insomnia. I could not sleep. I was so angry and hormonal. It was ridiculous. And then I was also nesting a lot. I was getting really, really excited. Did you have any scary parts of your pregnancy? I only have one time that I was like genuinely like terrified. Other than like the anxiety of the unknown in the first trimester. I was going to work one day. I felt fine. I got some breakfast on the way. I was perfectly fine. I took my medicine. I was fine. So I got to my work. I was working. I felt okay. And then all of a sudden I go outside and it just hits me that I feel like crap. So I was like, what the heck? I started to get dizzy and I couldn't see that good. And I was like, okay, I have to leave. I tracked down my coworker. I was like, girl, like I gotta go. She's like, it's okay, like just go, like I can do it. And so I get halfway to my house and I have to pull over because I can no longer really see, and I'm throwing up. I throw up and like all I can see is like black for a second, and my vision was just super blurry, super like dizzy. Like if you've ever been dizzy and sick, like you know exactly what I'm talking about. I had to go to labor and delivery and just sit there all day long. I was put on NSTs, and it ended up being my blood pressure medicine being too high, so they had to cut it down some. So whenever I took my blood pressure medicine, my blood pressure would usually be high, so it would drop my blood pressure. What had happened was when I took my blood pressure wasn't super high, so it just dropped my blood pressure below normal. That happened around 33 weeks, I think. And like I kind of mentioned earlier, all of that stuff led to more doctor's appointments, ultrasounds, you know, all the whole 9 yards. They discovered I had a heart murmur at some point. I got put on bed rest 2 times. So what were some complications you had with your pregnancy? So like I've kind of been talking about my blood pressure problem, that was just a whole mess. I ended up going to the doctor all the time. I had to go take NSTs. I had medicine. Yeah, it was a mess. And then also later on, I had a breech scare. So she wasn't breech, but I did have to go in at like 36 weeks and have it checked. And then later on down the road, I got to schedule my induction, which was fun. They had a staffing issue, and so that was a mess, but it was fun. Here are some later bump pics as well. Okay, so now for a little bit of the extra questions. Y'all asked a lot of questions and I did not get to answer all of them. Really wanted to answer all of them, but I just could not fit them all into one video. So I will be doing a question sticker soon on my Instagram, which is right here. So go follow me and look out for that sticker. You can ask your questions, especially if they did not get answered in this video. First question, food cravings. I didn't really have a lot of food cravings. The myth is that you crave sweet stuff with girls. That was completely opposite for me. I craved fries. That was really the only craving that I had. I didn't have anything crazy. I wanted Chick-fil-A and Taco Bell and McDonald's. Nothing specific though, just something salty and not good for you. Next is favorite part. So my favorite part of all time is the baby kicks. Probably everyone will say that. That point is when you realize that there really is someone growing in there. So you're not just getting fat. There's really someone in there. There's really life in there. Next, did people judge you when you were pregnant? I felt pretty judged. I know people were judging me. People would talk about me. People would definitely talk about me. I seen people talk about me on Snapchat and on Twitter, and I heard of people talking about me from other people. So I definitely was being judged. I felt judged. I hated going out in public. I hated working in town. It was awful. That was probably the worst part of my pregnancy, was the feeling of being judged. When you're pregnant and in a small town and you're a teenager, you know people be talking about you. Next is, how did pregnancy affect your sex life? So TMI, but down there was swollen from blood flow and hormones and all of that. So we was not having sex. So next is, how did pregnancy change your relationship? So pregnancy changed all of my relationships, my friend relationships, my parents' relationships, my man's relationship. So as for friends, I lost almost all of my friends due to my pregnancy, mostly just because I couldn't go do what they wanted me to do. And that was fine with me. I didn't really care. They're obviously not my true friends. I'm still not friends with the people that I lost during my pregnancy because they showed their true colors. Also, with my parents, I am way, way, way closer to my mom than I ever have been. I guess we just I understand her more now, and I respect her a lot more. Then as for mine and Jackson's relationship, obviously when you're carrying someone's child, it's hard to not feel a stronger bond with that person. So I think we definitely grew closer, and I think our relationship was stronger during my pregnancy. After you have a baby, it is the hardest thing to adjust to. And then on top of that, when she was only 2 months old, we moved in together. So that was hard as well. So our relationship has struggled, but it's coming together now. Did having a kid young make your life difficult? I wouldn't say difficult, but it did make it a little bit harder. Not impossible, but definitely harder. Like I have mentioned before on my channel, I am a college student, and like I mentioned earlier, I was planning on going to college 2 hours away, and those plans were canceled. I am a year and a half behind in my major and in school. Yeah, so it definitely makes things harder. It's not impossible though. You can do anything you set your mind to, and that's what I've done. I have just persevered through it, and I am getting my stuff done and being the best mom that I can be. So shout out to Bailey. Her channel is Everybody Loves Ella. It's in the description box below along with my other friends. But she asked the question, what position did you do to get pregnant, because she needs tips. Oh, probably missionary because I'm lazy. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can get pregnant in any position for the most part. And then lastly, do you recommend getting pregnant at a young age? No, 100% no. Like I just said, it makes life harder. It does not make life impossible, and it does not make life difficult, but it does make it a little bit harder, and you just have so much life to live. I 100% do not regret my daughter or any decisions that I've made regarding her or my pregnancy or any of that. You have plenty of time to become a mom, and you have plenty of time to meet the love of your life, and you have plenty of time to do all of those things. I just think that anyone that plans to have a baby should be in the financial position, the emotional position, the physical position, all the positions. Ooh, hello. But anyways, they are cute. Babies, they are so cute, and they are also a lot of work. But anyways, that is all that I have for you guys today. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Head over to my Instagram, it's right here or in the description box below. Also, we have a giveaway going on my channel for whenever I hit 500 subs. It is right where Kash's face is. So don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.